Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Turn the music down just a little bit so it's not so loud, doesn't irritate people's ears. Hey, it's late night with Cranky and friends, and we are back for another evening of late evening, early morning conversation about gaming and everything else like that. But yep, I'll get to that in a second. But I'm joined tonight, or this morning, or whatever your time zone may fucking well be, by the lovely Karida, otherwise known as Shadows Dawn _, and by Mr. Roddy, who's guaranteed it's morning where he is, because he's coming in from Denmark. So, chops to you, dude. Otherwise, he's known as the Roddy Gaming on Twitter. I forgot to make up the screen for this. So you guys are going to have to... Gamers love their food. Am I pretty sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I should have done this before show, but I forgot all about it. But I will do it now, and I'll do it live, because I think you people need to see the perfect burger for before, during, and after your gaming experience. And this, folks, is the burger to end all burgers. I will give it a couple seconds, so because even Rod D and Karida haven't seen it yet, then that's my fault, unless they took a look at the awesome monstrosity post.
But that's like a afternoon snack in Denmark.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Before or after going out for drinks?
That's in between.
Yes.
What you are looking at, folks, is a 3 foot tall, 338 pound, almost 250,000 calorie hamburger. It has 36 pounds of cheese, 30 pounds of bacon, 15 pounds of lettuce, and 30 pounds of tomatoes. What do you think? Should we order a couple to go?
Does it come with a heart surgeon?
Can I have fries with it?
Oh, I'm sure you.
Onion rings and fries are on top of it.
Can fries like this size would be good?
Fuck it, just throw the whole potato in the deep fryer. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was the starting point. I just I couldn't help it, but yeah, that's the prime hamburger for every. And we lost Karida. Oh, come back, Karida. Come back, wherever you might be. Come on. She timed out of TeamSpeak as well.
Oh, damn.
Hang on a second there, folks. We're just going to see if we can get her back in here. She should join us fairly shortly.
That means I have more space here, so you could, like, stretch me out. I can just sit here and just, more space for me!
Yes, I'm sure you would enjoy that. I just got to try and rearrange that a little bit. You're going to have to just sort of put up with my head, which I'm sure a lot of you won't mind, being covered by Skype's message there, until we get Karida back. While we're waiting for that, oh, there we go. It's gone now. You were mentioning a game, and I think we got a trailer to show, and maybe as soon as Karida gets back, we'll launch into it. I'll just cue it up. Get out.
Raw is so right. He says, Roddy, it's like when the person sitting next to you on the airplane gets up to go to the bathroom. It's like, oh, yes. Finally, space.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh,
agree.
dear.
No, we miss Karida. We need to get her back.
I hate the way that Skype resizes shit on the fly.
What? Down here.
There we go. Okay, we'll do this. You're now Karida for a few minutes. Oh God, Skype. Why do we hate you such?
I need to do the evil laugh now that the cat is here.
Yeah, now the cat's here. You got to do the evil laugh.
Wow. She's like, could you please move so I can lie here? Yeah, to everybody, this is Kitty. Let's do this.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I'll see if I can rearrange my screens here. We're editing on the fly, folks. So just give me a minute. We'll try and get this sorted out until. Oh dear. I think she's back. Yes, she is. All right. Hang on a second. Let me just double check. You're back, Karida? Yeah. Okay, I'll pull you into the call. We'll see what we can do here.
Gimme says Kitty wants a sandwich.
Kitty wants a sandwich.
Awesome.
There she is.
There's so many out there.
Sorry about that.
I didn't see it. This Kitty.
What happened? Your internet decided it wanted to.
It decided it wanted to reboot.
Ah, that's not very nice of it.
Nope.
Okay, I just gotta fix the. The screens a little. There we go, and we'll just slide this over there. Okay, and now we'll fix Karida so she's not just... Oh, hang on a second. Alrighty, we're fixed, we're back, and we can now get on with the business of the show. Which, let me see, which should we start off? Let's start off with everybody's favorite Dota 2. Now where the hell did I go? Jesus Christ! What are you doing to me, Skype? God damn. It's not one thing, it's another. There we go. Jeez.
Guess you can all blame me.
No blame anywhere. It's the internet. Shit happens, man. We just learn to deal with it.
Let's give Aber back his net.
Yeah. As much as Dota might be, free-to-play game, and it has its components that you can buy skins or whatever for the game, it's never been primarily about pay to win. Am I correct in that knowledge? Yeah,
pretty much.
I haven't experienced any pay. I played it a little bit and didn't feel like pay to win.
Okay, well, apparently, Valve's Year Beast Brawl, which is supposed to be to mark the Chinese New Year, has introduced a pay-to-win element into the game. The mode allows players to buy a competitive advantage over their rivals, unlike some mobile games which are free to play but then require substantial in-game purchases in order to progress. Dota 2 has been entirely free to play. Now, with this new addition, in tying it in with some celebration, let me see what it is. This time around, the Year Beasts aren't quite as formidable and fit neatly into a 5-on-5 gameplay style. In the Year Beast Brawl, each team chooses a monster ally. The ally can then be upgraded using ability points. Points can be earned by winning brawls or purchased by players. Points can be purchased in a special arcane bundle costing $34.99. 1,000 points are available for $249, while you can get 2,400 points for $499. So basically, you if you want to invest the money and buy these arcane points or usability points, you can have a better character or beast in whatever competition's going on.
All I have to say is I'm glad I stopped playing Dota 2.
Well, this is a very special event, and generally I see this as them using it as a troll. Basically saying, oh, you want to say that everything that we do and all the MOBAs are pay to win? Here, we're going to give you what you just were saying we're doing. Here you go.
Yeah, now understand, folks. This is not something new that they're bringing in, or that it's going to be from this time on. It's always going to be like this. This is just specifically for a very short period of time, and when this event, this celebration is over, that'll go away, and you'll be back to normal.
And it's only for that particular game mode. So the regular game is not affected.
Yeah, because in this one, you it's not like a typical 5-on-5. You have your group, or you pick a beast to represent the team, and then you go up against the other team's beast. Am I understanding that correctly?
I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, you have 5 players typically on each team, and then you have the different towers that you will try to destroy. So of course, one team will try to defend the towers, the other try to push them in, and you have what are they called? Like small creatures that kind of just roam down the map that you play on, and of course you always have your hero going, or your creature or beast or whatever, going behind these guys normally to have them attack, different things. So it's a combination, I'd say.
Yeah. So like, there's no real need to get up. Like I saw a couple of articles about this today, and one of them had that nice attention clickbait headline. Outrage at Valve over Dota 2 pay to win. And it's like this. I read that, and I saw the headline has entered the pay to win genre. But when you really, that's one of the problems I have with just about any of the gaming news, or actually it even goes back to the tech news and so on and so forth, is these clickbait headlines that you see that totally can do everything from totally mislead you to gently fib about what the post is actually, or what the story actually is about. This one is sort of a little bit of a fib. I don't call it an outright, lie or whatever, but they bother me. It really irritates my ass when I see that sort of thing. And this is a good example of that. What do you like? What's your reaction when you see that sort of thing in the headlines of stories with gaming? Like, does that bother you at all, or is it just you go, fuck it, that's the nature of the beast?
You know what my feelings are towards the media in general. I dislike the media. I do not watch the news unless somebody tells me, you have to see this. Because there's so many headlines that is just completely wrong. And, I mean, I am very picky in terms of where I read my news and what I actually believe in. And this story, I mean,
it's a non-news story. So Valve's doing a little special event, big deal, We've gotten what 5 paragraphs out of it. They've now gotten like 5 minutes out of us for really nothing. That's I.
But will it be for a short period or will it be permanent?
It's only for a short period. Am I correct in that, Cried? It's only for a short period, right?
From the way I understand it, yes, it will only be for a short period for this special event that they're running.
Then I really can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to affect anything.
Who's a fellow Diablo player here? Who plays Diablo? Either you two play Diablo?
Not a whole lot. I played it whenever it first released, and I haven't really touched it since, even though I did pick up the expansion. Actually, my girlfriend is the one that plays it more than I do.
What about you, Ra?
Not really, no.
No? So I guess you really won't appreciate this little bit. There's one Diablo 3 player that's reached level 1000 without dying once.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 1,000 Paragon, which is no small fucking feat. But yeah, hang on a second. I just got to get rid of a pain in the ass.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
But
Have fun.
Yeah, he apparently this guy was doing it on a hardcore difficulty too. Which means, like, if anybody's played Diablo, hardcore is like you die, you're dead, you're done. You lose everything.
I have a friend that does that.
Yeah. Anyway, so according to BattleNet and Diablo Progress, Russian player Nikita, someone pronounce that name for me, please. Nokieka. Anyway, he is currently level 1002 to be exact, followed by a whole bunch of players far behind in leveling. He made it to level 1000 when Diablo Season 1 ended last week, and all the XP gained with a second character, with a seasonal character got carried over to an already existing non-seasonal one.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I've watched some, obviously I watched Dizzy when he's been playing the hardcore lately, and it's like, nah, I'll be happy just playing my, my slow climb up. I got no problem with that. But what kind of dedication do you have to a game to be able to reach those kinds of stats?
Well, there has been stories about these factories they have in Korea where they do nothing but sit all day and play computer games to get the elite items so they can sell those. So I would say that's probably the top level of dedication, but definitely needs to be very interested in in wanting to know every aspect of the game, to know exactly what to do at what times to make sure he doesn't die or make mistakes. I mean, getting to that level requires a minimum of mistakes.
Oh, I would say, because I know, like when you watch people like Dizzy and Sev and Dr. Death, like they pre-plan going into one of the greater rifts because they whatever, because you can't afford to make a mistake. You literally cannot. It's a matter of who's going to die first, if anybody at all. But you don't walk into them blind, because you're guaranteed, if you do, you're going to screw up somewhere and you're dead, and that's all there is to it. Karada, when I know you don't play Diablo, but in other games that you play, do you find that if you become really involved with the game, that there's a lot of knowledge that you think you need to find out about the game and how the mechanics work in order to, I guess, make the game better for you?
Generally no, because from my own personal stuff, I find going down and getting into that nitty gritty at times can turn it from a game and into a job. And it's not what I'm interested in doing. Now, there are some things where I do like to break it apart, but that mainly comes in with my tabletop games and such.
Well, with tabletop games, you really have to know all aspects of the if from what I understand, because I've never played the Warhammer or the Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm pretty sure that if you're the dungeon master or whatever the equivalent is in Warhammer or any other games, you pretty well have to know the game at a fuller level than the people playing the game, right?
At the very least on par, so that they're not able to just come in and say, oh, this thing works this way. And be like, no.
It's Gimme says, example, if I took my effort I put into Smite into other games, it would be disgusting. Is there a game with either one? Because I know, you're both streamers, and I will encourage you both to put your stream links into chat so people can follow you. Do you find being a streamer affects your ability to give a game any kind of serious dedication?
While streaming, yes. But that's because I focus a lot on the community and actually having fun with people in chat. So I'm not 100% focused on the game while I stream. I'm 100% focused on making sure that the people that actually take the time to come in and spend their time with me, that they're actually entertained and they're having a good time.
Yep.
So I definitely would say that not even close to 60%. I mean, the rest goes to the chat and making sure that everything is enjoyable. But when off stream, that's where I get deep into the games and try to understand all the aspects of it.
Is that pretty much the same for you, Kryda?
Yeah. However, I will say that I have to force myself to not fall too much into the game, because I will admit I have some poor multitasking skills at times, and yeah, it's like if I get to reading an article for our conversations and stuff, I'm not really able to follow the conversation that's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then I come back and I'm like, I have no idea what we're even talking about now.
Hello, Survival Radio. Welcome, buddies. Okay, off stream. Okay. Do you have is there an I'll ask this of chat as well. Is there a game that is sort of the one your go-to game that you put the most effort, knowledge-wise and game time-wise, for enjoyment, not because it's a job, but because you enjoy doing that you can think of, like?
Well, I have to say quickly, I would never stream a game that I do not enjoy. I would never sit down and play a game that I do not enjoy. Well, I might eventually stream a game that I do not enjoy, but that would be because recently I've gotten... I get these games sent by a PR company, say, hey, you want to test this one out? And, when I do that, of course, I'm going to stream the game. And when that is done, I'm going to be completely honest. I had one game they sent to me, and I stopped playing it after like 30 minutes, saying, okay, this is simply not for me. I find it not working well at all. Another thing I have to quickly, in terms of what we just spoke about, there's another cool thing about streaming a game in terms of getting into the game, and that's the viewers. A lot of viewers are actually giving you a whole new look on a game, and they have some information because they have had the time to get into the game that they give you live on the stream, and that gives you new knowledge and then new energy to try different things out in the game. So that's one of the parts that I really love about streaming is that I don't have to read on forums. I don't have to spend time reading the FAQ about the game or doing the tutorial really closely, because I can sit down with a brand new game that I've never tried before, and the viewers will guide me through it. And that kind of interaction I find is probably one of the most fun things for me as a streamer, is to have that interaction where they can be the wise guys and I can be the idiot that is just controlling the mouse, and they'll go like, no, go right, because if you go left, yeah, you're screwed. And I love that.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by that whenever I first started doing my Persona stream earlier this weekend. But a question was asked in chat, and I had no clue. And I told them I'd go and find it for them after the stream. It wasn't too long after that someone had basically went ahead and took the time to go look it up and bring the information back to us for us.
Yeah.
And
by the way, thanks for the follow, T-Love or T-Blue? I'm not sure. I'm
T-Love.
T-Love. Okay, but my question being, is there a game that you currently just really give it your all and want to know everything about it, and not just because it's a job or whatever, but because you want to be able to know everything about that game and use that knowledge to make the game more enjoyable to play? And I'm talking about outside of streaming.
I'm gonna have to look at my games list here.
Well, while you're doing that, Cry, well, I know yours is, yeah, I know the tabletop. That is your sweet spot, isn't it? Is the tabletop?
Very much so,
yeah.
Especially the World of Darkness. It is ridiculous the amount of information that I hold in my head up there about it. And half the time I can't tell you what I know. It only comes out when I'm talking to someone or when the topic is up.
Yeah. Did you find it yet, Ra?
Yeah. I've been holding back on playing Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together because, I saw how complex the game actually is, how difficult it is. I've been watching Dizzy play that game a lot, and I got it recently. The first time I sat down and played that game on stream, the stream lasted 12 hours.
Oh yeah,
because it totally sucked me in. I love that game. It's so much fun, and it gets even better when you play it with other people. Another game where I really want to understand how things work is with The Forest. I'm really interested in knowing how these different cannibals react to different things that you do. I wouldn't say that it's a game that has sucked me totally in, but it's very interesting and very exciting to play. And then there is what was the other game on the list? Damn, I just looked at it. Let's just stay with the. Yeah. Arena Masters Edition, which is basically people called it a mix between Hearthstone and XCOM. So it's kind of a board game where you have two ships and you have to destroy the enemy ship while moving these characters that have different abilities. Just like Hearthstone, we have cards, and then you have to attack the enemy, but you have to get past the line of cards that he has. I want to really fully understand how I get the maximum usage out of these different characters that I have to win the most battles and rank up in the game. So that's probably the games for me.
I think the only one that really could pull me in like that right now, because I flip between games.
That is sorry, that is my problem as well.
I've started playing Diablo. Like, I reinstalled Diablo after getting my new machine up and running, and I've been playing it the last couple of days and having a blast because it's season 2. Start off a new character, and I'm loving that Crusader, man. That is like walking death. But I think if there was a game that would pull me in to wanting to know everything about it, it would have to be The Long Dark. So far, it's the only one of the open world, like The Forest or Stomping Lands or any of the games like that has maintained even the title of the game maintaining a presence in the back of my head. But every time I start up Steam, it's like I almost want to click on it, but I know if I do, I'm toast for at least 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, and that screws up my work schedule, and I can't afford to do that sometimes. But yeah, mine would have to be The Long Dark. And it's only still in early access, and they're adding good parts to it as we go along. So it's going to be fun to see how that one develops.
Now, I can say that right now, what has kind of gotten my attention, I listened to too many people talking about Elite Dangerous, and now I'm starting to get sucked into wanting to travel down that rabbit hole and find everything I can to decide, do I want to dive into this? Because if it can do what I've been wanting, I'm gone.
My only saving grace is that Elite Dangerous isn't, as far as I know, on Steam.
No, it's not.
Yeah. That's my only saving grace right now, because I could probably lie to myself enough times to justify paying the money out for it. But
yep.
If sure, I could go to the Elite Dangerous site and, they'll take PayPal, no problem, but it's that extra step, because Steam's always up and running, but it's after pulling up the browser window and going to the Elite Dangerous site and going through all the information and going, I can't lie to myself that good yet.
I'm lucky that they don't have it for sale on Green Man Gaming.
Yeah.
They had it there, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I was just about to buy the game the other day. But I looked into some gameplay videos. Some guy had, he made a review for it. My reasons to buy the game would be to stream it. And looking at the game, streaming-wise, I don't think it's going to be entertaining because you travel so much. You spend a lot of time just sitting in the ship, flying around, exploring. Yeah. That's not going to be entertaining. It is not fast-paced enough to be entertaining on a stream. Would I eventually buy it for myself to just play it when I'm not streaming? Most likely. It looks very interesting.
Creeping Death says he just bought Elite Dangerous, and he says it's a damn good game. It's a hard game to learn, but it's worth the buy.
Yep. I mean, like I've said on here plenty of times before, I want my X-Wing and TIE Fighter. If this can give me just enough of the dogfighting, I'll be all over it, and I probably will not come up for air for a good long while.
Now, for you, Roddy, Creeping Death also said he has streamed it and gets a lot of views, mainly because I think people want to see it.
I think also if you pair it with the voice attack, then it's getting very a lot more entertaining. Yeah, for
those of you that don't know of voice attack, I think it's voiceattack.com. It is basically a gaming add-on program that allows you to vocalize keyboard macros that are used, that the game uses. So, for example, I know Buana on Twitch has streamed it in the past, and he uses voice attack. So for simple thing like fire or whatever, he can say it, and the voice attack will respond and do and perform the command, whatever the command is in the game.
I want to try that for Skyrim.
Yeah, it's
Force Order. That would be funny as hell.
It's voiceattack.com, I do believe. Now,
really?
Yeah. It's an $8 app, and then there are people who make various like voice packs and stuff like that to help bring in the immersion even more. Yeah. I want to say the best one that they have out there for Elite Dangerous right now is somewhere around like $5. So about like $13 to get that up and going.
Yeah, like I said, I first saw voice attack being used by Buana when he was streaming Elite Dangerous, which is when it first launched, and I was impressed. It takes a little bit of work to set it up, but the nice thing is you can create and edit the macros while you're in game.
Yep.
So you can do it on the fly, which is really nice.
I mean, since a lot of the ship and everything, it would be managing your resources, like your power to your shields or to your weapons and stuff. You, instead of having to type out the keyboard commands for it, just basically say reroute power here.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
Then you get a voice response back from voice attack / the game or your nav computer, and just like so much fun.
Yeah.
That does sound a lot of fun.
And I didn't realize it was that inexpensive, really, because $8 is to be able to do that is not much money at all. It's like, you know, so you're getting a $40 game, $48, you got an even better game. Big news out today.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Kicking Death, for the follow. I really appreciate that. The big news that came out today, and I think everybody was going, "Oh, Terraria 2's here! Terraria 2's here!" No, it's not. What is here is sort of an interim step. If I understand this correctly, it's called Terraria Otherworld. I'm going to pull up the trailer for you guys to have a look at, see if I can get this to play properly. Hang on a second, just fix that a little bit there. Okay. This is the Terraria Offworld announcement teaser trailer. It is only, 48 seconds long, so pay attention, folks, because I don't want to replay it. And there you have it. Terraria Otherworld. Anybody thrilled and excited and just jumping off their short hairs to, wind down and grab that as quickly as possible?
No. I've seen people stream Terraria. To be honest, if you told me this was the normal Terraria, I would say okay. I have no knowledge of the game. I've seen people play it. It's not my thing.
Now, the statement that goes with this is it is set in an alternative dimension within the Terraria universe. Terraria Otherworld places the player in a life and death struggle to restore a once pristine world now overrun by a malevolent force that has corrupted nature itself to its original splendor. Along with a ragtag band of survivors, you will be able to successfully harness the power of an array of weaponry, magic, defenses, and even world itself to thwart the designs of this unseen evil. And this differs from the regular Terraria how?
I pass.
I know, people love Terraria. I don't like Terraria, and I've admitted that more times than I care to in public on TeamSpeak and in streams. But I know there are people that just absolutely love that game.
Yeah.
All the more.
I don't understand it myself. I can have a little bit of fun with it, but I probably have not spent more than 30 minutes at any given point in it.
I haven't even spent any time in it, period. I made the mistake and got Starbound, of which I spent maybe 10 minutes in. I just doesn't do a damn thing for me. But I know a lot of people, they're really, really waiting to see what Terraria 2 is going to be. And it's kind of been a lull period, even between the patch and the original release and whatever the updates. I think it was 6 months or almost a year between when they got the last patch, which reinvigorated everybody's attention on the game. And now this looks like this is just either a quick money grab to help, pay for the development cost for 2.0, or it's like, what is it? Who said that in here? Someone's. Oh yeah, it looks like upgraded visuals. Red Mage said it looked like going from NES to SNES.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I did notice, that the visuals did look better.
I guess it depends on your point of view of what when it comes to graphics in games like that. Like I have the same problem with with games like Don't Starve. I can appreciate the art style. I can appreciate the talent that goes into the games, but that graphic style just doesn't do a damn thing for me. And I
think I know why.
Why?
You don't like anything that reminds you of how old you are.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. That's your one little slap for the night. Thank you very much. Back to your corner there. But yeah, like, what's your feeling on this? Like, I know it's just fresh out today, and everybody's, the news is fresh out today. I'm not even sure when it's. It'll be on display at GDC next month. So it's not even available for download. This sounds like it's almost like it's giving them breathing room because they're having problems with 2.0.
To be honest, I have no knowledge of the game. I mean, it could. I don't know. It could be that they have put in a lot of stuff that will surprise people. So I can't really either speak badly or positively about it. I guess I'm just gonna look at how people react on the different Twitch streams that I follow, and if people that like the game is excited, and if they are happy with what comes out, I'm just happy for them.
Yeah. One of the another one that we're getting a lot of stuff from, and I tossed this in here for Karaida because I know she loves her Japanese RPGs. It seems that Kickstarter has become the newest way to fund a rising wave of JRPGs. Did you have a chance to read through this, Karaida, and what's your thoughts on it?
I have read through it. It's interesting to see, and I fully do agree with what it did say in there. The fact that JRPGs are a very niche market. They didn't really start coming to the limelight really in mainstream until Final Fantasy VII, and then it had its good run for like the PS1 to the PS2, and in recent years we don't really hear anything else about it, and it's a shame. And yeah, now those of us that grew up on them, like running from the original Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger, Lunar, the Breath of Fire series, Dragon Quest, and such. We want more of them, and they're the games that we love. And now that some of them are becoming game developers, they want to be able to make them. But publishing companies are not really looking for them these days. So where are we going to turn?
Could this be we seem to have in the past year and a half, 2 years, hit a real wave of indie games. Don't Starve being one of them. Thanks, Shorty Low, for following, bud. Really appreciate it. Could we be seeing a new wave coming of indie games that are built around the JRPG philosophy of gaming? Like right now, there's Shinnis Co., Americana Dawn, Celestian Tales, Agarest, Generation of War, and Nusakana, I think that's how it's pronounced, that are trending on Kickstarter, I guess, but they are JRPGs. Now, if I like indie games, and I think that they are the backbone, really, of the gaming industry. Whether people will agree with that or not. Do you think we're seeing a new wave?
At least a little bit. It's really going to depend on the community and how, if there's enough to be able to dive into it. Because, like I said, really is a small niche group.
Yeah, but here's the thing: niche is because it's like you said, the major publishing companies don't want anything to do with it. It's too risky.
Minecraft started out as niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's risky simply because that gameplay where it's very linear is not what people are really looking for these days.
Yeah, but here's the thing: this last wave, which is, I think it's crested and it's sort of leveled out, of games like Don't Starve or what's that other acid trip one? I can't remember the name of it. Binding of Isaac. You can't get more niche than those. But they aren't niche anymore. They are blowing up all over the place. They started out as Kickstarter or Greenlight games. Now we have... So people want that type of game, obviously, or they wouldn't be as successful as they are. So I'm wondering, with this increased interest, and the thing about the JRPGs is the visuals. They're very,
and the music.
Yeah, the visuals and the music are exceptionally strong. Gameplay's a little different, but then gameplay in Don't Starve or Binding of Isaac is definitely a little different. So, given that kind of base that it's growing on, what do you think, Rod? Could we see that maybe the JRPGs could be the new indie titles to rise to the surface?
It's like asking me to predict the future. I would say 50-50. Either it could or it could not. I mean, who knows? Maybe something new comes along next week that blows GRPG, out of the sky, and it's. I think what I really like about the indie gaming industry is that it brings something for everyone. I mean, before the indie gaming industry is starting to really get out there, you only had the major game development companies who, take the zombie genre, for example, right now. They are all doing the same at the same time. Then there's it's like they talk to each other and go, okay, guys, we are working on this genre right now. Let's all do that. Let's release in the same genre. So what I really like about the indie industry is that, you see all these games going in many different directions, and it brings out something for everyone, which I think is really cool because, instead of just having to play H1Z1, Dying Light, that all the big guys are coming out with, you have different genres, you have different types of games and different gameplay, and that makes the whole gaming industry much more I don't know how to, that's the, not native English, but diverse. Much more diverse, yeah. And that's what I love about the whole indie industry of gaming.
But you're primarily a big sort of AAA title gamer, aren't you?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I daily go through my queue list on Steam. I go check the indie section there. I mean, I've gone through games like Banished, Folktale, Don't Starve. I just tried Interstellar Marines. I believe that's an indie game as well. I didn't like it. There's Kingdom Come Deliverance. So no, I'm into many of the indie games. I try them out. The Escapists, The Forest is definitely also an indie game. They only have 8 developers. So no, I would say, I enjoy the AAA games because I like to see when they really put a great team into effort and really, one of my I'm actually not sure that was a AAA, but Mafia 2, for example, was released in 2010. Sit down, play that game, and you can almost smell how, the environment, the ambience in a game like that really had a big team behind it. That's what I enjoy. But the cool thing is, small teams can do the same thing. I mean, look at The Forest. They have created a beautiful environment that really draws you in with only 8 people.
I have that. Now, I played it 1 or 2 days back when it was first released, pretty much. I haven't played it, I think, in a good 6 or 7 months, so I'm not sure how far they progressed. When was the last time you played? What's happening in that game? Like, what have they done to bring it further along?
They have created a lot more new systems to base building. They have implemented new, different cannibals. I was shocked the last time I streamed it because they have made, you could build tree platforms now, so you could climb up into the tree and stand on your platform, and they can't reach you as of yet. They will be able to eventually. But we were standing up there, and one of the cannibals I had killed was lying on the ground, and this other different looking cannibal came along. He looked up at me and he was kind of screaming a little bit at me, but then he noticed that other dead cannibal lying on the ground, so he went over there to start eating that cannibal. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, seriously? So I could, because that dead body distracted him, I could go down and actually kill him. And these guys are not easy to kill normally. So the whole AI that they're bringing into these cannibals is extreme. I'm really, really enjoying it. What scares me the most in that game is that sometimes this cannibal runs up to you, looks at you, kind of just studies you for a second, and then runs away. Does not engage, does not attack. It freaks me out, but I love the game for it. And, the whole building system in it now, you can tell they are going full on for base building, like Rust and other games like that. And they're taking it to a new direction that I really like. The crafting in the game is awesome. There's no recipes, no nothing. You have to just think your way through, saying, okay, if I take a stick and a stone and some rope, I can tie that together, I can make an axe. Okay, that's simple. There's a lot of other different things like bombs and stuff like that. So they have done a lot. I'm really looking forward to seeing the next patch as well, because the game is taking some big steps at the moment.
Yeah, it's because from what I remember, because I was following them there for a little while, I was following their dev blog. They are pretty consistent on their updates.
They are. They're doing a good job. They're doing what many Kickstarter companies and early access game developers should do.
Yeah.
But are not.
Are not, no, yeah. Like,
Stomping Land.
Yes,
yeah. I had such big hopes for that game. Such a shame that he just went, money, hey, bye-bye.
Yeah, let's go get some cocaine instead. But on that note, we're going to take a 5-minute break, folks. We'll turn the music up a little bit, and we've got to refresh our drinks and take care of some needs. If you haven't followed yet and you like what you're hearing, you're enjoying the atmosphere, you're enjoying the company and chat, please consider giving us a follow, because it lets us know that we're doing something right, and we will continue to do something right. But for right now, 5-minute break, folks. We will see you in 5. And we're coming back. Had a little bit of a 5 minute. There was a really interesting article that came up today about Twitch. And we're on Twitch. This is what we're broadcasting this show on, and a few more coming that we're also working on. But we know that Twitch is growing. It's answering a market need that is going to only get bigger. The article was with when they talked with Twitch co-founder and CEO Kevin Lin earlier. He told Polygon that while it was latent demand for live streaming that helped Twitch grow so rapidly early on, the continued growth is powered by the service's community. I think part of it was a latent demand, Lin said. A lot of the growth through has been the community sort of figuring out what it is that entertains like-minded people in this space. The thing that got me thinking was when it came to the obvious comparison between Twitch and YouTube. Okay, basically the only thing that's similar is that they provide video service for users, right? When it comes right down to that, sure, Twitch has got a little bit of a VOD system, but they're trying to cut it back because you can't even, what is it, 30 days now for your past broadcast?
2 weeks.
2 weeks for your past broadcasts. If you want anything out of them, save them as highlights because they won't be going away yet. So they're trying to phase out that heavy server demand video on demand service. YouTube has tried to bring in a live streaming service and hasn't been overly successful with it for whatever reasons may be. But this is where my thought kicked in on that, is that Twitch is now the YouTube for the newer generation. And I don't mean age generation, I mean, let's say internet generation, because the internet's gone up, it's a couple generations old now. The fact is that I honestly, and that's one reason why I think Amazon, because what was it? It cost Google $1 billion to buy YouTube when it was something like the size of Twitch back years and years and years ago. It is now a multi-billion-dollar company. Twitch, which was recently snapped up by Amazon for what's got to be almost like a beggar delights price, it's got the same growth potential, if not, I think it's got more of a growth potential than YouTube does. But what do you think? Is Twitch a good possibility for replacing YouTube, or is it's just strictly going to be for gamers and people who like watching games, or is it?
No, because they're already taking the next step of introducing the music channel, for example. I mean, I see a lot of people that I wouldn't have expected to see there actually suddenly come in and stream music and do DJing and stuff like that. I've done it myself as well. I mean, Adam Clegg from the H1Z1 team is doing streaming music on the music channel. I don't think that, well, personally, I'm not going to see Twitch as a competitor to YouTube or a service that is going to be in competition with YouTube. I see them more as something that's going to work together. You're going to have the live show on Twitch where people can see it if they want to see it live, and then you export that to YouTube afterwards. So I more believe that it's going to be a thing where they work together. Maybe YouTube, the companies behind, will buy up Twitch at some point and have it as two separate companies that work together.
Yeah, but
that could be an option.
There's no way that Amazon's going to sell Twitch.
If they're clever, no. But if they're offered $10 billion,
but no, I still don't. Jeff Bezos is no fucking idiot. All right, he's one smart dude, and for him to direct the company to buy Twitch, there's got to be something up the sleeve. Like, personally, my first reaction is, as far as the Amazon Twitch thing is it's a natural fit. What better way than on your gaming sales pages have a link back to Twitch streamers playing the game? It's just a matter of coding. It's for them, that's a natural fit. So no, I don't think you'll ever see the day where they will, and they would not sell it to YouTube. They would not.
No, it's like Roddy said. YouTube is great for the video on demand. It is there for you to watch after the fact, but it's not good for the live interaction. What you really want for live interaction is the Twitch streaming. But then, since they took away the video demand, just being able to log your videos permanently, Twitch lost that little bit of it. And so now we use YouTube to be able to back everything up. It's also a lot easier to navigate YouTube, to be able to find that content, to be able to look at it after the fact.
Yeah.
Search function on Twitch.
Oh God.
It's horrible.
Admittedly, Twitch needs a lot of love. It really does. It's a good base system, but the base needs some work done to it, and it needs to grow. Now about the music part of it. Okay. Now this obviously is Twitch speak. The C-suite, but they let me see if I can find it quickly here, because they did talk about it. Growing.
While you read, man, who is to say that we won't be seeing cooking channels on Twitch?
Okay.
People doing hardware programs where they build stuff, and I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Okay, here's a part from the story. Even in the company's most recent experiments with music, the tie-in remains gaming. Music was added so gamers could have a soundtrack to play music to. The bands are allowed to perform, but Twitch tries to keep it in groups that are into gaming. Now, like I said, that's head office talk. Now, you said that you did a stream with music?
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with games, obviously.
No, it was, I was using software to mix the music with. That's on a computer, so, I mean, I would say it's a gray zone, but it had nothing to do with games, unless you consider live mixing music a game. I guess you could do that.
Well, the Rock Band has been around for a number. Anyway, yeah, because I remember, what was it, about 3 weeks ago, when that piano player became all the rage. Like, he was like partnered in one night and the whole works. So you take what they say from the head office and sort of okay, yeah, sure, you're covering your ass. But I don't think you'll see things like even the game show, and this irritates the ass off me. The game show category, the game talk show category, which we are broadcasting under. If anybody actually takes a look at that at any point during the day, please point out the ones that are actually having a game show conversation. Because a lot of them, I don't know anymore. I really don't. But the other thing that got me was, this really made me kind of chuckle, because I read this before. But they talked a lot in this with Twitch working with Nintendo. Okay? If I can just find this, because there was the quote from the CEO of Yeah. In an interview at E3 last year, Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé told Polygon that he didn't fully understand why people watch other people play games through a service like Twitch. We don't think streaming 30 minutes of gameplay by itself is a lot of fun, Fils-Aimé said at the time. Your specific question of just purely streaming gameplay, what we've got to think through is, so what's fun about that? From the consumer standpoint, what's fun about it? And this is a guy that is heading one of the major, top 3 or top 5 console game makers that doesn't understand. And he also came out and said, you'll never see Twitch support built into the Wii U.
I know his standpoint. I mean, if why would he want people to sit and watch one person play a game? Let's say 2,000 people watching one guy play a game, when those 2,000 people could buy the game themselves and play it. I mean, that's probably where he's coming from. It's not good business for him if for people to just watch someone else buy the game or play the game. But on the other hand, I kind of agree. I've seen some streamers where you just see the game, there's no talking, it's just a game being played. You just watch the in-game feed. That is not entertaining at all. You
Not
need the personalities. Twitch is made out of the community, the people helping each other, doing great things. Streamers are being awesome in terms of helping each other out, making sure that, if I've had people come into my stream and say, hey, mate, have you ever thought about, and I'm like, no, I haven't thought about it. That's a really good idea. Thank you. And they go, yeah, well, I'm a streamer as well. And I love that. I love the community on Twitch. There's some rotten apples as well. Sure. There's a lot of annoying spam, annoying raid with penises going around at the moment. Wish they would stop that, but whatever makes them happy. I have some mods that are really, really happy to use the permaban button when they come around. But other than that, I think the community is really great, and there are some true personalities. And what I love about Twitch is that you can do a TV show. You're doing a TV show right here. We're on that with very few remedies. I mean, you don't have to set up a big fancy studio or stuff like that. It makes it possible for everybody to make their own TV network, so to say, and that's what I love about it.
Like that's admittedly that's one of the things that I want to do with this channel, is that I want to be able to cover, because look, me as a streamer would be the most boring as fucking shit that you could possibly imagine when you weren't rolling on the floor laughing your ass off. Okay, so, and I know that, but I want to be a part of this. And the one thing that I do know very well, that is being able to talk about the industry, talk about the people, and to be able to engage other really intelligent people about those things. So, I do have plans down the road. This is not the only show that we are going to be doing here. So, to your comment, Twitch has given me the ability to basically have, for as many hours a day that I want to be able to provide commentary and news about gaming and the people in this industry, the venue to do it in with a very low cost.
How long do you think it's going to be before we see, just like 24-hour news, we see a 24-hour gaming news channel?
What, on Twitch?
I think it's within a year. Yeah, I think it's within a year.
Within 6 months.
It'd be nice to see.
6 months to a year.
Just
yeah.
Tune in.
I mean, and the guys that are going to do that, they're going to make money.
Like it technically, if we had a method by which we could re-air easily a past broadcast, you could do what cable stations did for fucking years, right? Like, how many cable stations do you remember that their real broadcast was like from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. and then they just cycled through that for the rest of the 24 hours.
They still do that on the Danish 24 news channel.
Yeah.
It's 6 hours of footage just shown over and over and over again with commercials in between.
So technically, like I said, if Twitch gave us that ability to re-air easily, could do the same thing. But as it stands right now, I would have to block out my time, and there's no way I can do 24 hours as one human being, right?
No.
But I'm sure Twitch has thought of this, and there are processes probably in development where we can do, like you could broadcast on this channel doing a news segment from Europe, shall we say, on gaming. Karida could do a half-hour show on tabletop gaming every other day. Then you've got the basis of a good, solid 12-hour day.
You can already do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to be able to pass the stream key around, and that's.
No, actually,
Yeah.
What Creeping Death is saying, that you can do it now with playlist and OBS. I mean, this is what I do in my stream with my overlays. I have overlays that just repeat over and over and over again. And it's just about getting the right video plug in, putting it into the list, and it can play. It will just go continuously. So the only issue you will have there is having the switches between. No, that's not going to be a problem either. I was thinking you going from live to a playback. But of course, you would have to record the live show locally to your machine as it's going on, and as soon as you're done recording live, you start flipping it up on the.
But you see that you do it that way, and you take away from what the real value here is, and that's chat. That's the community.
Yeah.
Right.
But then again, the community would sit in the channel and talk to each other.
What I'm saying is that. And this is one, and like you've said before, the real power of Twitch is the ability of the streamer to communicate with his chat, with their community. Like we are building a community right now here, right? Mm-hmm. And we've got some fucking awesome people hanging out here. One of them has become a co-host. So to record a half-hour show and put it in through the playlist or whatever, you're taking away that most integral part of what would make it successful.
I'm not sure I agree with you 100%, because it would be something that people would switch into to see what is the latest news in gaming. They would watch a segment, jump out again, go watch their streamers. Maybe none of their favorite streamers is online streaming. Okay, let's go check the news channel. Let's see what's on. So I think it would be a service that people would be jumping back and forth to see. And, if it's just a few channels that run that kind of segment where, the interaction is not there. I mean, I've seen streamers that sit and stream for 80 people without interacting with... Actually, I've even seen streamers stream for 8,000 people without interacting with one single line of chat. I mean, some do it, and they're successful with it, so I don't see why a news channel wouldn't be able to do it either.
I know that, like, for a lot of the tournaments and stuff, as soon as the tournament is over, they'll kick it into a rebroadcast. Granted, there's not a whole lot of chat interaction there either, but even afterwards, like Roddy was saying, the chat still, people will still hop in chat and talk amongst each other about it a lot of the time. So, I mean, if something like that were to be done, I wouldn't say have it constantly going, but maybe have it be like, we will rebroadcast it at this time, but it's known that they'll be missing the chat interaction bit, but that we are live at every night at midnight.
Yeah.
So they know when they can tune in for that.
Yeah.
But like Red did say, if you can do that, you almost might as well upload to YouTube.
Yeah. Like they've got the live streaming service, so you can very easily, do the anyway. It's we are in brand spanking new territory. There's no denying it. Like what we are doing right here, right now, is even newer than Twitch, and that makes me excited because it gives us an opportunity to really try new and different things on behalf of gamers and the gaming community. Because you remember what was that the Karate? You would probably remember the score because I don't think it made it to Europe. There was a gaming channel on cable, and it was like
G4 TV.
Yeah, G4 TV. Thank you very much.
I think it actually still exists.
Yep.
Just, you don't hear anything from it anymore.
No, it's now Esquire. It was bought by Esquire. They got out of it.
Station though?
But they tried it, but I don't think
it went for a number of years.
Yeah. So, but right now there is nowhere for like what Twitch is doing is that they're giving gamers on the whole a really good community. We've got some real idiots in it, but that any community's got their their idiots. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. But here's the thing. I'm going to go a little bit off topic here. One thing gamers are is we love to geek out about our games, and geeks always start at some point. And there's an interesting post, and I'll put this one into chat so you guys can have a look through. But keep in mind, what I want you to do too is as we're going through these items, think to what might have sparked yours. And what I'm referring to is 8 classic movies that nurtured us into geeks. Okay? Basic premise being that there was some movie that we saw that sort of let us enjoy being geeks and made us proud to be geeks, and we continued on from there. Obviously, Star Wars. That's their number one. If you could start such a list with anything but they're saying is anything but Star Wars. Okay, so you can't even count because Star Wars is but on everybody's list. Let me just make sure I got this going right. Yeah. Clash of the Titans. Terrible movie, but it was so much fun. It wasn't. Oh, come on, Cried. It wasn't.
I love that movie.
It was
Do not bash my childhood, or I'll bash you.
Now they're talking about the original one here, the version with the badass robotic owl. The one that we watch it now and laugh at, and some of the claymation effects. But there was something undeniably cool about it as well. And yes, Clash of Titans, I remember watching it, I remember loving it, and it was like, yeah, Raw, you're looking like this is not working, right? Like, Clash of Titans wasn't your spark?
I've never seen it.
No?
Never. Probably didn't hit
You must
Europe.
fix this.
Yeah, you must.
On the other hand, the never-ending story, though. Where is that on the list?
It's not on the list.
Not on
It's not
there.
there.
No.
That's what I mean. Where's
Princess
the
Bride
never-ending
isn't on
story?
there either.
Okay, how about the Goonies? The Goonies is on the
Sneaks.
list. The Goonies is on the list. You never saw that one either, Roddy? Nope.
I was busy climbing trees and playing, and when the Goonies came out, I was 1 year old. So I was probably busy crawling on the floor,
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Yes, Red Mage, you're exactly right. Okay, how about Lord of the Rings, the old animated and the new? Is that a sufficient spark for a geek to come to the surface and proclaim their geekness? Now, here's the thing. How many remember the animated one by, what the hell was his name? Oh, fuck, I can't remember it. He did Fritz the Cat. I can't remember his name. Okay, never mind. Ignore that one. Yeah, there it is. Ralph Bakshi. The Ralph Bakshi version of Lord of the Rings. Do either of you remember that? Either one of you see that one? That's going back, I think, to the late 70s? Yeah, late 70s, I think it was. Mid 70s, maybe even. But it was the first attempt at bringing Lord of the Rings to the masses. And it was like a bad acid trip. It really was. It was awesome. It was really, really good. But it was it was hard to appreciate. Yeah, it was a difficult one. But yeah, that one I probably remember that one out of all of the Lord of the Rings. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Lost Ark. Is that enough of a spark for geekdom? Would that spark a geek to admit to their geekdom and be happy?
I don't need a movie to.
It would spark gaming geeky though.
Yeah, but geeks are geeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't need a movie to go out and proclaim that I am a huge geek and I love computer gaming and I prioritize that really, really high above many other things. I don't need a movie to do that. I do that perfectly fine just by streaming and being annoying and talking about the newest computer games when I'm hanging out with friends.
Okay, well, when you are out in the real world, as we, IRL, as we like to say, do you find it's difficult sometimes to have conversations with people because they're not talking about things that you're interested in, and when you start to express the things you're interested in, they look at you like you got three eyes?
No.
No?
No, I don't really experience that.
Yep, it happens to me a lot at work because they're always like, why don't you ever talk to anyone? I'm like, I do. When you come up with something that's worth talking about. And there's this one lady at work that gets so mad because I don't talk to her. But she'll see me get up and go talk to other people because they said something. Or on the random chance where she does bring up something geeky and I have to go correct her. And she's like, oh, now you'll talk to me? You actually mentioned something interesting.
I don't know. I know myself that I don't know. I've always had that lack of interest in communicating with people out there because it's when you get so heavily involved in technology and gaming and that sort of thing, it's like there's suddenly, I don't know, there's like an invisible wall that they put between you because they don't understand a fucking single thing you're talking about and they got no desire to, and I think that's frustrating. Like, am I losing that here or?
I can understand the point if the people you socialize with are all people that do not share the interest. I mean, a lot of my real life friends share the same interest for computer gaming. So of course, when we get together, we talk about computer gaming and I get my, so to say, fix to talk about computer gaming. I also have friends that I have other interests with, for example, soccer or working out, different things. I mean, I have very few really close friends, but I have a really broad, connection of friends. People that I see on a regular basis, but are not really tight with. So I kind of mix in everywhere, and I know who doesn't want to hear about computer gaming, and sometimes I do tell them about computer gaming anyways, and yeah, I do get that look where they're like, yeah, okay, here we go again. But then again, at some point they're going to tell me something where I think, yeah, okay, you go on about your cooking again now. Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it's all about interests, and if people don't want to hear about computer games when I talk about it, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not their interest, and I have other places to go where I can, get that response that I want when I talk about something brand new in a computer game, and I'm really excited. What the fluff would that sound?
It's on your end, bud.
Okay, weird. Haven't heard that before. Well, where you get that, they get equally excited when you tell them about it. And for example, I can go on this show and I can share my excitement for Identity RPG, which is a game in Kickstarter. And I know that other people will, when I show them the link, they will go like, "Oh yeah, that's what we've been waiting for." So to me, it's just about yeah.
No, see, the reason I included that thing about the movies is because I think even as gamers, we identify, like you identify with sneakers, you identify with Never-Ending Story, right? We all have things outside of gaming, but we identify them with them, and we sort of pull them in. It's like cosplay. Cosplay is not part of the gaming well, it is. It is part of the gaming culture, right? So, you can have a conversation about, the latest game and the fact that it's already showing up in cosplay at conventions and who's some of the great cosplayers. So, that's why I brought that in. But also, this is something that a lot of, the gaming companies, and we've seen a real spate of bad ones, like Asteroids, Battleship, and we've talked about them here. But one we've always been waiting for, and we've always had that kind of hope that they would finally do it, has to be around Halo. Because it was one of the first ones that rumor was that they were going to be making a movie, a good movie about Halo, from the Halo universe. Fast forward to now, and with the upcoming launch of Halo 5, we are going to be getting a live-action series for called Halo Halo Nightfall. Now, we have a trailer for it that just popped up today, and if this will play nice, and it's not playing nice. Why is it not playing nice? Where are you? Jesus, jumping. Okay, I'm going to have to do this live again. Damn you. See, I can't use that service because this is what it does, and the other one didn't. So I'll have to figure it out. So hang tough while I do this a little on the live side, folks, and I will bring you the trailer for Halo Nightfire window capture. Thank you. Night.
However, Cranky, while you're doing that, I would like to bring up the next one that was on that list.
Okay.
The Last Starfighter.
Yes, awesome movie.
And there are legitimately game cabinets out there with the game on it still.
Yep.
Somewhere. There's only a small handful, but they do really exist. They're just not that great, but they exist.
Yep, they do. They do. All right, there we go. We got this down here. All right. Doing it live, folks, like I said. Here is the trailer for Halo Nightfall.
Death will come to all of us. Especially soldiers. You give your life away so others will live. And take life where only God can give it. seen anything like it. Comrades found the Holy Grail then, haven't they?
It's time to take the war to them.
Be a bold move. Send a team in, destroy the Stella.
I hear you need a ship.
Only work better alone.
Shouldn't fear me. I'm just one man.
One man that was a Spartan.
Ready to go to hell, Colonel?
Oh, March! I can hardly wait.
Never thought we'd set foot on the Halo ring.
Are we really doing this?
Stay on mission.
Got something.
What the hell are they?
We will not go out like this. My question to you, Commander Locke. How will you lead? And for what?
Now that's a movie I'm gonna see.
It's not a movie, it's a series.
Really?
It's a series. It'll, yeah. This is, I'm not sure. Hang on, let me just double check the actual information on this one here. Just so I'm not misleading anybody. Where to go? Halo Nightfall, dated for release on VOD ahead of Halo 5. Okay. It's on video on demand on March 17th and is set between the events of Halo 4 and the upcoming Halo 5 Guardians. Halo Nightfall steps into the personal story of Jameson Locke, a legendary manhunter and agent with the Office of Naval Intelligence, Earth's most powerful and secretive military branch. The film provides a background to this pivotal new character in the Halo universe who will play a key role in the next gaming installment. The background behind it, whilst investigating terrorist chatter on a distant colony world of Cedra, Locke and his crew are caught in a horrific biological attack. Led by Locke, Oni agents are forced to coordinate with the local command who have a deep-rooted mistrust of ONI. As they unravel the plot that draws them to an ancient hellish artifact, they are forced to fight for their survival and make the ultimate choice between their loyalty and their lives. So yeah, it's going to be a video-on-demand film, which means
I want to see it.
Yeah, I do. Now, as we wind down here, how excited? Now they say this Locke character is going to be a primary character in the new game, to the point that he's doing the voice acting in the game for the character. Now we've always known that Halo, or Master Chief, was like Master Chief. That was the Halo story. So I'm kind of wondering, how are they going to shift into this new generation? Or is it going to be sort of as what is it? Cortana? What's her name? Cortina? I can't remember. Cortana. Is it going to be through her memories that we're going to see this, or something like her? Like, how are they going to make this shift to the new Halo 5? Any thoughts? Any ideas?
No idea, considering I've actually not played any of the Halo games.
See, now, where you were giving him shit for not seeing the Goonies, okay? Or, the other ones, I'm giving you shit for never playing Halo.
It was on a Microsoft system. I wasn't going to touch it with a 10-foot fucking pole.
Wow! The hurt!
I think I'm just gonna, just get you two just
Come back,
I'm not
Roddy!
even here.
Come back, Roddy! Come back! Oh, God. Yeah. I'm excited for the new Halo. it's like I'm excited for the new number 4 of Mass Effects, because you're having the same story canon, but you're having a different look at it from a different side, and that, I think, opens it up to all new kinds of possibilities. You played Halo. Please tell me you played Halo, Roddy.
Yes.
Okay, you've played all of them?
No,
Okay.
not all of them.
Which one? Where were your last?
Halo 3.
Well, that would be okay. So you didn't play any of the Halo 4. Okay. Does seeing what they're doing here make you want to see what they're going to be doing with the game? Like, because they're obviously doing this as a
It makes me
tie-in.
want to go back and go through them again, actually.
It does. Really?
It does. Yeah, because when they come out, that trailer was flippin' epic. I mean, it had me at hello. So I'm definitely going to look at the games again. Maybe just watch some playthroughs on YouTube, because that's an easy way to do it. I can just lie down and relax, in a few minutes when I need to take a nap after this early bird show, to get back into it. So when I actually see the TV series, I'll have all the background knowledge. I watched this streamer today who played Mafia 2 without having played Mafia 1, and these two games are so connected
Yeah.
in so many levels. You can't play the second without having played the first. And I feel the same like with the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. You have to have it chronologically.
See, here's the thing with multi-part game, like you've got, like, for example, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. You got Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2. Can you actually jump into the middle of one of those and do the game as a whole justice? Not just for the game, but for yourself? Because my thinking is, if you haven't followed that game from the beginning, if you haven't played that game, or at least have a working knowledge of it from the beginning, you can't fully appreciate the ones that come after that.
I'm sure you can appreciate them to a certain extent, but you will be missing, sometimes they will say something and you'll just be there, okay, well, that was funny. But if you've seen all that goes before that, and that comment comes, that is going to be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
So I think people are missing out if they don't follow the development of the stories.
What do you think, Karada?
Remember the whole thing where I said I get to talking and then my brain shuts down?
Okay, what I was saying was, can a person jump into the middle of a series of games, like Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, or Borderlands 1 and 2? Like, for example, you were looking at getting Borderlands 1 and 2. Could you just get Borderlands 2 and be able to really appreciate the game as a whole?
Nope.
I'm sure you could.
One
I'm
bit.
sure you could.
I couldn't, though.
I got
the only way I
Borderlands
could is if I went and did a lot of reading online about the story and stuff, because like I've said before, story is everything to me. That is why I play. That is what I love to do. Now, I will fully admit, I've not played any of the Halo games, but I like to go and look on the wikis and read the stories behind it and the synopsis of the games, because they're so much fun to read.
Well, I know with Halo there is so much, like there's books, that have been written as part of that series. Like you can get sci-fi books that are a part of the, that are Halo books. There's a couple really good web series. There's a couple really good fan-made short films that are built around the Halo franchise. So yeah, you can possibly do that with something like Halo. I would love to have seen the same thing happen with Mass Effects, because I think they've got an incredible storyline as well. But yeah, I was just kind of curious. See, for me, I like the whole story. I'm like Karida. I like to know from the beginning to the end. I don't like jumping in the middle of something and then trying to figure out, wait a minute, am I missing something here? Because I'm sure I'm missing something here that was basically told in the first or the second one or whatever. So I was just curious about that, and I'll throw that out to chat as well. Okay, what Nick CB? I never played Borderland 1 and played 2 and loved it. I'm not saying you can't love it, right? I'm saying, can you appreciate the whole story? That's basically what I'm getting at. Or is it even important to?
If you don't know what's before that, you don't know what you're missing out. I played Borderlands 2, and only Borderlands 2, and I loved it just as Nick. I thought it was amazing. The atmosphere was great. It was a fun game. But sure, I don't know. I've missed out on a lot of things and a lot of stuff that would have been really fun if I had the knowledge. The thing is, I did not have the knowledge. I did not know what I was missing out on.
It's like Senor Balsa said, Claptrap is funnier in 2. He's just annoying as shit in number 1. Alrighty, look.
That's another angle to it. You could have a character that is really annoying in number 1, and then that character is ruined for you. But what if you haven't seen number 1 and then you saw the second, and you loved that character? But if you had seen the first, you would still hate the character in the second. I mean, you could flip it in many ways. I think it's up to the individual.
Yeah, that's just an esoteric thought. Anyway, we are pulling along here, folks, and Roddy is being kind enough to get up fucking extra early to help us do this show. Like in Denmark, your background, I can see the sun's coming up, and I'm constantly thinking, fuck, is it not fucking late? Shit, man, I better get to bed. So yeah, we're gonna pull the show to a close for the evening. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Roddy for his early morning rise. I want to thank Karaida for joining us. Both of you put your Twitch stream links in chat so people can follow you. They are both excellent gamers, different types of games, but excellent gamers. Me, I don't stream games. I do this shit. So you're stuck with that. Until tomorrow, if by the way, if you like what you've seen here and you haven't followed yet, please consider doing so, because it helps us, figure shit out that we're doing right. Yes. So until tomorrow, everybody, thank you for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you tomorrow again at 12 a.m. for another episode of Late Night with Cranky and Friends. But remember, it's always a matter of game on.